Hey there, it's Renee Chudkowski again, and we are back to the appetizer round. And have I got a rock star recipe for you? I'm taking and doing a new twist on an old favorite in one of my favorite classes called Comfort Foods. And what I'm going to do today is take and make a creamy tomato bisque with grilled cheese croutons and sticks, which is just kind of, like I said, a new twist on an old favorite. And it of course uses Philadelphia cream cheese, which, as we know, if you read and go on our website, it is the rock star of the world right now. So anyhow, thanks again to Paula and Crafts for doing this for us. I'm having a blast, and it's a lot of fun, and my husband's gaining weight too. So okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've actually done a little bit of the prep work ahead of time, so come on over here and take a peek. In the pot so far, I have some chicken broth. And I've heated the chicken broth and added in 8 ounces cream cheese, and I've also added in 2 cans of regular condensed tomato soup. Just stir them in, and you want to bring it to a simmer. The cream cheese melts, and everything gets nice and hot, and the cream cheese melts, makes it nice and creamy. To this, once it's at the creamy stage, we're going to add 2 cans of tomatoes. 1 can is a really nice, oh, it smells so good, Italian-style tomato, and it's Italian diced tomato, and it won't say Italian, it'll say garlic and olive oil, roast garlic and onion, or maybe basil and oregano and olive oil or something like that, but some type of an Italian-style tomato already diced will work. So I'm going to pop this in and give it a little stir, and notice that it's undrained. And you'll see the explicit directions and quantities in the recipe. This is a can of just regular petite diced tomatoes, and I like to use the petite style diced because they're a little bit easier to eat, and it's really, really nice in the recipe. And you can see that they're just kind of all swimming around in the pot, which is a good thing. I'm going to turn this up a little bit, and I'm going to add in a cup. I'm using milk, but if you want it super rich and creamy, you can use half and half. You could use whole cream. I'm just adding in some milk. And I'm going to stir it up and let that simmer, just like that. Alright, meanwhile, we need to do the other fun part, and that is making our grilled cheese croutons. Now, I know everybody has probably had grilled cheese sandwiches before, right? And everybody's made them and taught your kids to make them. It's definitely a rainy day treat. As a matter of fact, every time it rains, this is what I think about, because it just adds a little bit of sunshine to your rainy day. So what I'm going to do is take a couple pieces of bread, whatever kind of bread you normally use. I'm using Kraft singles. I'm using the 2% Kraft singles. These are, it's just a great product. It's a great melting cheese, and it's perfect for grilled cheese, and it's kind of like the old standard. So, and what I'm going to do is take a little bit of soft butter and butter one side of my bread. Turn it over, I'm going to turn it over, and then add in my cheese. And sometimes if I'm feeling really wicked, I might put 2 pieces of cheese in. Maybe even a little swipe of regular cream cheese or flavored cream cheese and the yellow cheese. It's really good. And then I'm going to show you a little trick. You know how everybody always avoids the heel of the bread? I always laugh because it's usually I'm the one eating both heels at the same time at the end of the loaf. But a little trick you can do to use up the heels of the bread is to butter the outside, the part that's going to hit the griddle, put the inside, or the heel part of it, inside with the cheese. Nobody's ever going to know, and it's going to be just great. So, come on over here. This is going to go on the griddle, and we're going to cook this just like you normally would your regular grilled cheese. So, being the planner that I am, I've already got this going. Here is my prepared grilled cheese sandwich. You need to let it cool for about 10 minutes or so the cheese sets up and doesn't get too ooey gooey runny when you're chopping it or cutting it. And then take a pizza cutter or a sharp knife. And what I usually do is run it through like this. And if I want grilled cheese sticks, I leave them just like that. And I'll leave one of them whole. Most of the time what I do is take my 4 grilled cheese sandwiches and cut them up right into little croutons like this. Using the pizza cutter makes it really nice and easy, but a good sharp knife will do the exact same thing. One of the other reasons you want to make sure that you let it cool before you cut it is because if you were cutting into the ooey gooey cheese and it was stringy and wonderful, wouldn't you want to get into it and eat it too? Which is a good thing, except you're going to run out of croutons. So I'm going to to take and put these in my baking dish. I've got my oven preheated to 350. So I'm going to pop these in the baking dish, and then I take a nice hard cheese. Parmesan, Romano, Asiago, any one of the hard cheese. You can even use the Kraft shaky cheese out of the can. And then just want to grate a little bit over top. Just like this. That's it. Nice and easy. This is going to go into a 350 oven for maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes if you want it super crispy. Yeah, I was planning ahead. I already have some made. This is what they look like when they are done. You want it to be nice and crispy. Say you're doing a dipping stick, they're going to look like this, and you can hear that they get nice and crispy. Or your croutons are going to be nice and crispy too. To serve this, and of course this is the best part, I'm going to take my favorite rainy day soup mug, and it's too hard to do it right now, but if there's a rainy day in Michigan, you can bet I'm curled up with this mug with creamy tomato bisque and grilled cheese croutons, probably watching Paula Deen. Come on over here and I'll show ya. The soup has come to a nice eating temperature. Basically, after we add the tomatoes in and the milk, we're just bringing it up to a serving temperature. So I'm going to ladle some in. Just like this. If you're serving this as an appetizer, you're probably going to have, I'm going to say probably 6 to 8 servings or so for a meal, maybe a few less. So how about if I pop in some croutons? We fight over the croutons at our house. A little bit of fresh basil. I'm just going to give it a little pinch right here. You can use dried basil or fresh, either one. And this is how you would eat it with the croutons. Or, if we were using our dipping sticks, just like this. This is creamy tomato bisque with grilled cheese croutons or dipping sticks. And I'm Renee Chudkowski, and I'm still having a blast in this contest. Take care.